The galaxy had many predators, razor-jawed beasts that stalked nebula jungles, leviathans that lurked in star oceans, empires built on blood and conquest. But none were feared more than the Drektal hunters. For thousands of cycles, the Drektal roamed the spiral arms, treating lesser species as trophies. They didn't conquer planets, they harvested them. Their hunts were entertainment. Their kills were ritual. And their victims? Always chosen for helplessness. So when they discovered humanity, they thought they had found a new, rich, easy source of prey. They had no idea what was coming. The hunt begins. On a cold, silent night above Europa Base, alarms blared so violently that Lieutenant Rowan Hale jolted awake before the sirens even reached their peak. Unknown vessels dropping from slip space. The intercom crackled. Identity confirmed. Drektal hunters. All personnel, prepare for evacuation or defensive engagement. Hale's blood went cold. The stories about the hunters were whispered in every human academy. Even the bravest soldiers avoided the subject. The Drektal didn't just capture, they studied, skinned, and mounted their kills. But Hale wasn't assigned to a combat battalion. He was an off-duty ranger stationed on Europa for research security. Too far from Earth, too isolated, too unimportant for a major attack. Apparently, not anymore. As the ground trembled from the first bombardment, Hale grabbed his gear and sprinted outside. Snow and ice vaporized into steam, forming clouds around the cracking dome structures. Screams echoed. Automated turrets activated and were shredded instantly by kinetic darts the size of rail spikes. Figures emerged from the smoke, towering, armor-plated, reptilian beasts. Their mandibles clicked rhythmically, tasting the air. A hunting rhythm. Rowan heard a translator crackle. Humans detected. Begin collection. Live specimens preferred. He ducked behind a shattered rover, pulse racing. He saw Dr. Lena ashore, Europa Base's lead xenobiologist, crawling desperately toward safety, injured. Lena, he whispered harshly. Here. She crawled to him, blood staining her gloves. Rowan, they want live captures. There. A shadow towered over them. The Drektal hunter raised a claw, metal hooks glistening. Hale acted on pure instinct, human instinct, the kind bred from caves, fire, and 2 million years of becoming apex predators through desperation alone. He lunged. Not away, toward the monster. His shoulder slammed into its chest plate, knocking its posture off for just a second. But that second was enough. Hale dragged Lena into a maintenance shaft, sealing it shut as the hunter roared and clawed uselessly at the metal. Humanity had always been underestimated. The hunt turns. Hours later, Europa Base was silent. Fires crackled. Bodies of the fallen lay on the ice. The hunters moved in organized packs, sweeping the structures for survivors. But one pack had not returned. Inside the abandoned mining tunnels beneath the base, Hale moved silently through the dark, Lena leaning on him. The tunnels were tight, too tight for the bulky hunters, which had bought them time. But not enough. Rowan stopped when they reached an old storage bay. We can make traps here, he whispered. You know the geothermal shafts better than anyone. Can you rig an overload? Lena nodded weakly. Yes, but Rowan, these are Drektal. You can't fight them hand to hand. He smirked grimly. I don't plan to. I plan to hunt. Above them, tremors signaled the hunter's approach. Rowan set simple, brutal traps, ancient in origin, human in design. Precious snares. Weighted spikes. the kind of traps prehistoric humans used when fighting creatures far larger than themselves. The first hunter crashed into the room and immediately fell into a geothermal exhaust pit Rowan had hidden beneath an unstable panel. Its scream echoed as superheated vapor incinerated it. Lena blinked in disbelief. You killed a Drektal. Humans are good at surprising things, Rowan replied. Even ourselves. But the second hunter entered, bellowing in rage. It spotted Rowan and charged with impossible speed. Rowan ran. Not away, around. He led the hunter through a narrow corridor lined with drilling stabilizers. As the alien closed in, Rowan triggered an emergency vent. Instant vacuum suction yanked the stabilizers loose. They shot across the corridor like harpoons, impaling the hunter to the wall. Its death throes rattled the metal. Rowan exhaled shakily. 2 down. Lena stared at him. Why are they still hunting? They already destroyed the base. Rowan clenched his jaw. Because the Drektal didn't hunt for war. They hunted for pleasure. And humans had just embarrassed them. The shift. The predators start to fear. The remaining hunters regrouped outside the tunnels. Their leader, known to his pack as Scathron, hissed in agitation. 2 hunters killed. By prey. Impossible. His second growled. Perhaps these humans are different. Scathron slammed his spear into the ice. Prey is prey. We retrieve their bodies for inspection. Continue the hunt. But as they moved deeper into the tunnels, they found something strange. Silence. No fear scent. No panicked fleeing. No signs of exhaustion or broken morale. The humans they hunted seemed to be waiting. Scathron didn't realize he had stepped into a tripwire until it snapped. Gravity shifted. The ceiling, cut loose manually, collapsed, dropping tons of frozen rock onto the squad. 2 more hunters died instantly. Scathron roared in fury. Find the human. Bring me his head. Final act. The hunter becomes the hunted. Rowan and Lena reached the deepest chamber, a geothermal regulator hub. Lena began working on overloading the system. This will turn the whole tunnel into a volcanic cannon. But once I trigger it, we have maybe 2 minutes before this place blows. 2 minutes is enough, Rowan said, tightening his grip on a salvaged shock rifle. Then the walls trembled. Scathron burst through, armor cracked, eyes blazing with hatred. Human, you killed members of the hunt. I will flay you alive. Rowan fired the shock rifle directly into its throat, stunning it. Scathron recovered fast, far too fast, and slammed Rowan against the wall. His armor spikes impaled Rowan's shoulder. Lena screamed, rushing forward, but the hunter swatted her aside. Scathron raised his talons for the killing blow. And froze. Because Rowan was smiling. Check your feet, Rowan whispered. The hunter looked down. He was standing inside the geothermal regulator ring, its activation coils glowing bright orange. Lena had already triggered the overload. Rowan kicked himself free and dragged her behind a support pillar. The chamber exploded in white fire. Steam. Pressure. Heat. The geothermal blast ripped upward through the tunnels, vaporizing Scathron and his remaining pack in a column of molten fury. When the eruption settled, the tunnels were half collapsed, glowing red, deadly quiet. Rowan and Lena crawled out into the open Europa night, coughing, bleeding, barely alive. But alive. And the hunters were not. Ending. The galaxy learns the truth. The UAS Ark Horizon arrived hours later, alerted by Europa Base's distress beacon. Marines swept the ruins, scanning for survivors. When they found Rowan and Lena, exhausted and covered in soot, The commanding officer listened in stunned silence to their account. "Let me get this straight," the commander said slowly. "A hunter squad came for sport, and you wiped them out with improvised traps."
Rowan nodded weakly.
"We did what humans have always done."
"And what's that?" Rowan looked him dead in the eyes. "Adapt. Survive.
And become the predator when the predator comes for us." Word spread. Across the galaxy, species who had once feared the Drektal now whispered about the humans of Europa.
The prey that fought back. The prey that killed hunters.
The prey that turned the most feared predators into smoldering ash beneath the ice. And far away, in the Drektal capital, the High Matriarch listened to the report.
"One human," she asked quietly.
"One killed an entire hunting pack."
Her advisor nodded shakily.
"Impossible."
But her trembling voice betrayed her.
Because deep inside, she understood the truth.
You can hunt many species. You can dominate many worlds.
But humans?
Humans were something else. Not prey. Not trophies.
Apex predators, waiting for a reason to wake up. And the galaxy had just given them one.